Morning folks, we're here for the LDWA100, this year Trans-Pennine 100, starting at 10 o'clock up near Barnsley. This is sort of mile zero, which 10 to 10, so we should be about to go at 10 o'clock. Big mass start at 9 o'clock, so most people have actually gone off earlier than they were expecting, which means 10 o'clock is a bit of a smaller field. So we'll see how it goes. If all goes well, it does mean there'll be quite a bit of congestion on the first two checkpoints as the faster ones catch in. But hey, looks like a pretty flat first bit, bumpy in the middle with the nighttime stuff, and then not so bad at the end. So yeah, 100 miles, this is mile zero, let's see how we go. So we're 10 miles in, first 5 miles really hard going. It's tarmac, disused railway, quite pounding on the feet, did the shoelaces up too tight. So feet went a bit numb. But no, now we've come off the path, although we've just come onto a bit of tarmac, generally come off the path. It's much better. It's a very sunny day, fortunately a bit of tree shade. It's not that absolutely hot, but it is very sunny. 10 miles done, let's keep jogging. So we're on 32k, 20 miles just up. It's certainly warm, we've been quite low level so far. It's sunny, not absolutely hot air temperature, but really sunny. No breeze when we're lower down. On a few bits when we've gone high, there's a bit of a breeze, so hopefully, because in about 6 miles time we do start to climb properly, there'll be a breeze coming. Running pretty well, as I say, just really quite hot. Hopefully taking on enough food and liquid and vaguely smiling, so we'll be good. 20 miles down. Cool, so that's 30 miles up. Really good bit. I forgot to say at mile 20 I'd passed most of the bulk of the walkers, so the field's definitely spread out. Probably a bit ahead both in timing and field position, so might be a bit of a lonely night, but we'll take that as it comes. Glorious bit of steak bacon mash in Holmfirth, so well done to, I think, West Yorkshire, apologies if it wasn't them, for brilliant catering on that one. Wasn't quite sure how it would sit on the stomach, but it seems okay so far. Got higher, just on the highest point. Obviously still a lot of climbing to go, but psychologically no bad thing to have ticked off the highest point. And yeah, sun's still quite strong, but definitely makes a difference getting the height now. Bit of a breeze and a bit cooler, so just running more comfortably. And it's actually on a very well-defined footpath. So whereas in the villages around sort of mile 20-25, it was all quite intricate. This is now very much open moorland, famous last words, quite easy to navigate with quite well-defined paths. 30 miles done. Hey! So just coming up to the 40-mile point. Firstly, an apology. I appear to have filmed some of the previous ones in landscape, not portrait. Sorry, portrait, not landscape format. So I should probably disqualify myself from the race really for such a basic error. But we'll try and keep going for the moment. Just been through a staff's aid LDWA checkpoint, which had cheesy oatcakes, which is possibly the best thing in the world ever. So that perked me up a little bit. Stomach's not 100%, but certainly not bad. I think I maybe even drunk a little bit too much. There's a bit of fluid sloshing around and needs to be absorbed. Still a hot sun. It is starting to cool off slightly now, fortunately, but it's still quite a hot sun. Hoping to push on. My target was to get to the next checkpoint by dark, which should be doable. Sort myself out, get ready for the night and crack on. 40 miles gone. So this is 50 miles halfway. As you might be able to hear, the wind has certainly picked up. It's a clear sky, there's a moon somewhere. There's stayed a clear sky, so temperature's really dropping. There's a bit of a northerly wind, so really quite chilly, particularly as you get high. Probably not as expected, to be honest. Layers on. Yeah, 50 miles done. More than half the elevation, so that's always good. Real climbing bit at the moment. And we'll see, we're doing good time at the moment. To be honest, I'm not overly looking forward to the night. I usually like night running, but don't particularly fancy this one for some reason. But we'll see how it goes. There's a bit of a climb, bit of a ridge, and then a drop and a bit of a valley, so hopefully if we can get that out of the way in the main night, and then take a second sort of see how it comes as it gets light in the morning. 50 miles down. Mile 60 just come up. Mile 50 to 55 was really tough, really rough, stony ground. Couldn't get any sort of pace walking or running or anything, so that was all a bit horrible. Picked up a bit once we got over Mam Nick. Good run over the top. Met a couple of people for a bit of company on the run down. And now we're a little bit lower on the river, so it's still cool, but it's much milder now. We're down at low level. 60 miles gone. Need to keep going because I've got a friend waiting up the road. Morning, up to 70 miles now. It was alright plodding up Stanage Head. It is cold, there's a cold wind and it's a bit of a relentless wind. Still got a friend. Team's trying to get rid of me, but he hasn't managed yet. So yeah, mile 70, we've done the massive bulk of the elevation, particularly with the sun away. It's obviously daylight now, as you can see, so well ahead of where I wanted to be. But 30 miles still feels like a very long way at this moment in time. Yeah, let's keep on and see what happens. Happy days. 80 miles up, and although it feels hard work, I think we are actually making pretty good time actually. It stayed quite cool this cloudy today. No hint of the sun from yesterday. The wind's dropped a little bit because we're low and it's obviously warmed up slightly being daytime, but as you can see from the buff and gloves, still on the cool side. Yeah, apart from uphills, levels and downhills, then it's all quite runnable. Yeah, I'm generally okay on the uphills. Just can't generate any speed on the downhills, which is really frustrating. But we'll keep pushing along. 80 miles done. So that's about 90 miles up. Bit of a calculation error, and I did the 80 mile video a bit early. My 16 times table, converting from kilometres to miles, clearly isn't quite as sharp as I thought it would be after 20 something hours of running. Yeah, 90 miles done. We will get it done. Definitely walking it in. Just really quite heavy in the legs and the heels. Don't think it's anything lasting damage, hopefully. Just really absolutely tired legs from the sort of pounding in the heels as well, sort of thing. So actually, reasonable pace walk feels actually quite fine. Running just, yeah, isn't really going to happen. Maybe for the last 100 yard sprint or something for the finish, but that's all good. Yeah, anyway, 90 miles down, almost a bit of sun coming out, but not quite. 10 miles to go, probably, plus a bit of a rounding error depending on the organisers. And we'll get it done. Cheers. That brings up 100 miles on my watch. Not quite at the finish, but I think about a mile left, so it's going to be pretty close. But just thought we'd do the 100 mile recap here, and then I'll try and do another one at the finish. Really quite seriously considered giving up about 91, 92 miles. It sort of sounds a long way through, but to turn it the other way, it's kind of 10 miles. And at the sort of pace I was doing it, talking 3 hours. So it was kind of 3 hours of really not enjoying it. And I did just consider for a long time just calling it a day. I didn't. Pushed on. And yeah, 100 miles on the clock. About 1 mile to go to the finish. Made very few errors, so I think that's just a bit of a rounding of the clock and their route to make sure it's 100 miles. See you at the bar. It's a very quick partial wash up. We're done, finished, certificate, beer, all good. About to go for a shower and burn everything I own. Yeah, really fab event, as they always seem to be in terms of marshals, organisation, route choice, etc. Seemed quite a similar route to last year, the South Wales one in many respects. About the same elevation, 4,000 metres give or take. Started sort of on a flat wide path, which I guess is to let everyone sort of spread out. Really some tough climbs in the middle, and then got a little bit easier towards the end just to help people run in a bit, and also conscious of where many of the people might be at dark. So yeah, good fun. Maybe see you next year.